It is finished. The religious leaders told the governor Pilate that Jesus was dangerous and wanted to be king. Pilate asked Jesus, "Is this true?" "I am king," Jesus answered, "but not of this world." "Jesus is innocent," said Pilate. "There's no reason to kill him. I will set him free." But the crowd shouted, "Kill him!" So Pilate had his soldiers whip Jesus. They forced a thorny crown on his head. Then they laid a wooden cross on his back and led him up a hill. There on that hill, the Roman soldiers nailed Jesus to the cross, hands and feet. Then they raised it high. Jesus hung there between two criminals. Around noon, the sky turned dark. Jesus' friends wept. The religious leaders laughed and said, "You saved other people. Why can't you save yourself?" "Forgive them, Father," said Jesus. When the time came for Jesus to die, he closed his eyes and said, "It is finished." He had completed what he had come to do because of his great love. One of Jesus' followers, a man named Joseph, put Jesus' body in a brand new tomb. He rolled a huge stone in front of it. A long, sad Friday. A voice in the night. Hannah was sad because she had no children. She prayed, and God gave her a son, Samuel. She was very grateful, so she gave Samuel to God to serve him. Hannah left her little boy at the tabernacle with Eli, the priest. Samuel helped old blind Eli. He even slept in the tabernacle while Eli slept in a room nearby. One night, Samuel heard someone call his name. He got up and ran to Eli. "Here I am," he said. "I didn't call you," Eli grunted. "Go back to bed." Samuel crept back to bed. He heard his name again. Samuel ran back to Eli. "Here I am," he said. "I didn't call you," Eli sighed sleepily. "Go back to bed." After Samuel heard the voice a third time, Eli said it was the Lord. "If he calls again," said Eli, "say, 'Speak, Lord, your servant is listening.'" So Samuel did. "Samuel," God said, "can you be my prophet and pass my words faithfully on to my people?" "I can," said Samuel. And he did, until he was an old man. The brave and beautiful queen. Esther was the queen of Persia. Even her husband, King Xerxes, didn't know her secret. Esther was Jewish. Esther's cousin Mordecai worked at the palace and looked out for her. Xerxes' advisor, Haman, received a great reward. He was very proud. Everyone except Mordecai bowed down to him. Haman was insulted. He vowed to kill Mordecai and all the Jews. Haman told Xerxes that the Jews were dangerous and should die. Xerxes agreed and set a day to kill them. Mordecai was terrified and sent a message to Queen Esther. "Change the king's mind," said Mordecai. "If I go to him without his invitation, he can have me killed," Esther replied. "Perhaps you were made queen just for this moment," said Mordecai. Esther bravely agreed to try. She went to the throne room. King Xerxes was amazed by her beauty and invited her in. "Can we have dinner with Haman?" she asked. Haman was building a big gallows in his backyard. He planned to hang Mordecai on it. Then the king's invitation arrived, so Haman went to the palace for dinner. "A man wants to kill me and my people, the Jews," Esther told Xerxes. "Who would do such a thing?" he asked. "The evil Haman," Esther cried. "Haman? Guards, put him to death." So Haman was hanged on the gallows he'd built for Mordecai. Because of Esther, the Jews were saved. They celebrated with a great feast, which they observe to this day. Time to get up. Jairus, a leader of the synagogue, fell at Jesus' feet. "My little girl is dying," he cried. "If you lay your hands on her, I know that she will live." Pushing through the crowd, they met some men from Jairus' house. "Your daughter is already dead," they said. "Don't be afraid," said Jesus. "Believe, and your daughter will be healed." They arrived at Jairus' house and found people weeping for the girl. "Why are you weeping?" Jesus asked. "The girl's not dead. She's only sleeping." The people laughed at him. Jesus and 3 of his disciples, Peter, James, and John, went into the house with Jairus and his wife. The little girl was lying there, just as everyone had said. Jesus took her hand. Then he said, "Stand up, little girl." And she did. She even walked around the room.
Huh?
Jairus and his wife were amazed. Jesus told them not to tell anyone what he had done. "Now," said Jesus, "I think this girl needs something to eat." Coming home. "Why does Jesus spend time with people who do bad things?" the religious leaders wondered. So Jesus told them a story about God's love. This is how it went. A man had 2 sons. The younger son asked for the money he would get when the father died. Heartbroken, the father gave his younger son half of his property. The son moved to a distant country. He wasted all the money. Then a famine came, and he had to feed pigs. He wished he could eat the pigs' food. "My father's servants do better than this," he thought. "I'll return home and admit that I have sinned against him and God. Maybe he'll make me one of his servants."